is going to be a different kind of interview because we're close to Facebook and we're getting a little tour of all the companies that are in the Facebook ecosystem. We just interviewed another one last week. So who are you?
So I'm Victoria Ransom. I'm the CEO of Wildfire Interactive. I'm a serial entrepreneur. This is my third company. It's my first company in the social media marketing space. I also had a previous software company for the travel industry. Cool. So really got into the social media marketing space from looking at our companies in the travel industry, wondering how would they be able to use Facebook to promote, to build up engagement with their fan pages and to promote within the social networks. Through that came up with the idea for Wildfire, and we've created a platform that makes it really easy for companies of all sizes to create all kinds of engaging interactive promotions like sweepstakes, user-generated contests, coupons, virtual gifts, quizzes, all kinds of campaigns that are shown to be really engaging and social in the social networks.
So you're not really advertising.
We're not advertising. No, we are a platform.
But you're a new engagement. You're trying to create conversations in your amongst people on Facebook, because that's the new way you're going to get brands to be seen and talked about.
Yeah, I mean, we're helping companies. We're providing a scalable way for companies to create marketing campaigns that really tap into the power of the social network. So instead of running an ad on Facebook, driving people out of Facebook, you might have got one person to click on that ad. That's great. But we provide campaigns where you can get one person to come to that campaign, and then they tell X number of friends who then come into the campaign and tell more. So we're really trying to create campaigns that take advantage of those rich social tools that are in Facebook, in Twitter, Facebook Connect. But what we've done, instead of having to go out and build your own custom application, hire some developers to do that, we've created a scalable solution. So you create an account with us, you go in, decide, I want to create a virtual gift campaign. You go through our setup wizard where you put in all the information you need for that campaign. Then you get to your publish page where you can say, I want to run this in Facebook, I want to run this on my website, different channels. So we've really turned it into...
You're on Twitter too, right?
Yes, we do have a solution for Twitter, not for virtual gifts, but for some of our other formats like sweepstakes. So yeah, we've really... The initial thought was, if there's lots of small businesses that want to get into social media marketing, but they don't have the knowledge or the resources to go out and build these kind of campaigns to hire developers. So we thought, let's think of the campaign formats that really work well, and let's build it into more of a scalable, templatized system so that they can create an account with us and run all these kind of campaigns that previously had really only been available to bigger companies.
And what do you see happen? Because you're only a few months old, almost a year old. Right?
So one thing we've seen happen is that we thought that this was just going to be for small businesses. It's ended up that a lot of bigger brands have wanted to use our tools as well because it's so cost effective and scalable, and also because we've been able to see thousands of campaigns running. So we've really learned got a lot of expertise about what works. The other thing we've seen happen is, which is really exciting, is that you do not have to be a big brand to run a wildly successful campaign. And I would never say that everybody's going to run a campaign and it's going to go crazy viral. It doesn't always work like that.
No.
But we've had non-profits that have run, I'm thinking of one in particular that ran a user-generated photo contest with us. It was around a topic that was very relevant to them. They ran a week-long contest that got almost 10,000 entries in their contest, and when you think about every person that enters then publishes a feed, because they're trying to get people to come and vote for their entry, they publish a feed to their network of friends. That's an enormous reach. You multiply 10,000 by average of 150 friends, or that small non-profit was getting an enormous reach through the social network. So it's been exciting for us to see that this is not just a realm for big companies to play in.
How has Facebook, because you've been watching Facebook for a while, right? Even before you started this company. How has Facebook changed in the last year for doing brand getting people to talk to brands? How has it changed?
It's mostly changed in really good ways. I mean, one thing that's changed, I think, there's a lot more control now around how you can spread the word to friends. So obviously apps started out, I would say, extremely spammy. Yeah. Facebook's reined that in, so I think you need to be a little more creative about how you do get people to spread the word, but I think that's a good thing, because then you're sending messages out to people that they're genuinely interested in instead of forcing people to spam others. So that's a change that's, I think, required a little more creativity. What's really great though is that Facebook's built out much more engaging fan pages. So when they started out, there was pretty limited functionality with a fan page. There was not a lot of reason for people to come back.
Yep.
Now companies can post news feeds out to their fans, and there's a lot more value around building up your fan base, I think.
Yeah, we talked on a separate show about Facebook Connect or Facebook fan pages and how to build a good one. I still have to work on mine. Mine's pretty lame.
It takes more effort than building up your Twitter account, for example. So I think that's perhaps a little barrier for some companies, but that's exactly where our company, I think, adds a lot of value, that you can build a lot of engagement around your fan page, and it's really easy and really affordable. I mean, our plans start as low as...
So let's say I have a band or something, and what would I do with you to get my fan page really rocking and rolling and get a lot of people to see my
you could
music
do different things. So we've seen bands run really successful campaigns around just as sweepstakes, giving away tickets to an event. Bands actually do really well with these kind of campaigns. So that's sort of from a simple level. You could maybe give away tickets for 5 friends to an event, and when people are entering that sweepstakes, they can name those 5 friends that they would want to share that prize with if they were to win the sweepstakes. But we've also seen really great examples of bands using user-generated contests. So, for example, we have a musician right now that's running a contest where they're just about to launch a new album, so they're asking people to upload examples of what they're doing to get the word out about this musician's new album. So you've got people uploading photos and of them, chalking on everything from chalking on the footpath to music videos or promotional videos that they've created. So it's really a nice example of, you've got the viral effect of people uploading an entry and then trying to spread the word to all their friends so people vote for that entry, but there's also the real world effect of people creating posters and videos and chalkings and things to get the word out in the real world. So, they could also be running a virtual gift campaign, which when someone clicks through on that, they get taken to...
How much do these things cost?
Yeah, so we have different pricing
plans. I probably only have a few $100s a month, especially if I'm a starving musician kind of band, which most are at the startup stage.
Different tiers from the very cheapest plan is as low as 99 cents a day. So you can run a campaign for a month for $30. We figure that that's pretty much affordable for everybody. Yeah. You get more limited features, a little less creative flexibility. We have a medium tier plan, which I guess is for more like medium-sized businesses. There you're paying upfront fee of $250 and $4.99 a day, but you get richer creative control, richer data, other features that medium-sized business would want. Right up to bigger brands, we have a white label offering where you get full brand control, full creative control, much richer data, and there it's costing the thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. So we've been able to segment it pretty well.
It's still pretty affordable even.
It is.
I used to work at several big companies, NEC and Microsoft, and I could spend $1,000 on my credit card pretty easily, but when it gets in the $100,000 range, then you have to really convince a lot of people to invest in it.
Exactly. No, we've tried to keep it really affordable, and there's still a market there for going out and building custom applications, and those are going to cost a lot more. But I think we've focused on formats where we can really learn a lot about what works, incorporate that into the format, and therefore our feeling is there's no point in going out and reinventing the wheel on these particular formats, and a lot of big brands have come on board with us for that reason.
Very cool. What else are you seeing happen in the world? You're starting looking at Twitter pretty seriously.
Yeah.
What do you sense happening in the world from where you're sitting?
Yeah. Well, one thing we've seen is just a big jump in the interest around this kind of social marketing. I would say with the
What's
companies...
driving that, you think?
I think it's starting to be proven. So even, we're not an old company, we've been working on this for about a year and a half. So right at the beginning, I would say when we spoke to companies, there was interest and curiosity, but there wasn't urgency. Yeah. Now it feels like there's real urgency. And I think it's because people realize Facebook and Twitter, they're not sort of fly in the wind businesses where they're up and then they're gone. I think people realize they're here to stay. This is a phenomenon that's not just a fad, that social networks are an integral part of our life. So I think brands are now realizing, okay, there's 300 million people on Facebook. That's a pretty big audience. We've got to reach those people. And now there's a lot of urgency around, well, how are we going to do that? So we've seen a real jump in companies wanting to get engaged and really wanting to get into this kind of marketing. And smaller businesses as well.
Who's your competition? I mean, if I'm a big brand, a Ford or something, who else am I looking at, and what do you offer that the competition doesn't do?
So we've got kind of classes of competition. I think there are the custom app developers. So there's some really great companies there, like a Context Optional, where you could go and build really great custom applications. I think if you're wanting to run a format that we offer, we really provide a great solution. We've got all the features in there from all that we've learned. It's scalable, it's affordable. So I think we offer a really great solution with those formats that we offer. Going with a custom app developer is great if you want to build something that's not in our suite of tools. Yeah. I guess there's still the promotions agencies out there, online promotions agencies like an ePrize perhaps. Companies go to them to build these kind of campaigns on the web. I would say that's great for running campaigns on your website. Generally, those companies do not have a huge expertise in the social marketing space. Yeah. And then there are some apps platforms that companies have built where you can use various different apps that you could put on your fan page, for example, to build out some kind of content on your fan page, like perhaps you want to put a Twitter stream or a photo album or a different kind of, but they're really more putting content on your fan page as opposed to building engaging marketing campaigns. So in terms of this platform for engaging social promotions, we're pretty much got that space to ourselves, but we've got clusters of companies that I think we cross over with.
Okay. You were a Facebook Fund company. You were the winner of the second year, right?
We were, yeah. Okay. So I guess the Facebook Fund has had
tell me what
three
Facebook
rounds.
Fund is.
Yeah,
because
okay.
That's something interesting to talk about.
So Facebook Fund was started by Facebook, Excel, and Founders Fund, and it was a fund really designed to support businesses that they felt were really adding value to the Facebook ecosystem. Yeah. So they've had 3 rounds. The second round, which we applied for, they ended up selecting 5 companies, and it was a grant program. So we got a pretty substantial grant from that. Then they had a 3rd round of the FB Fund where they changed it into a little more like an incubator program where they invested in companies. I think there were 22 companies. We all spent the summer together in the old Facebook offices. There's a lot of speakers coming in from Facebook and from the entrepreneurship community in general. So that was a really different experience, but really great experience. Yeah. So
you built probably a lot of relationships inside Facebook, and that probably is invaluable for what you're trying to do.
Very valuable. So we've done that over time in different ways. So obviously the FB Fund has helped us to build some relationships. We've also had Facebook use our tools for a number of different campaigns. So we've run about 6 major campaigns for Facebook for different groups. Some of it was with their marketing team, some of it was actually with their legal team. We ran the vote for the Facebook terms of use. Remember back in March? Yeah, we ran that vote.
Oh,
so,
you did guys
we did that. Okay. Yeah. So we've been able to build a lot of different relationships, and obviously we love Facebook. They've been hugely supportive of us, and our business wouldn't exist if it wasn't for their great for Facebook. So.
Yeah. What's your challenge as a business now?
Well, I guess this is not a big challenge right now in terms of how do we get companies to learn about us? How do we scale up? So right now we're finding there's a lot of interest. We get a lot of incoming leads. But I guess ultimately we want to, for every company that knows about us, there's got to be 100 that don't know about us and could really use our tools. So we really got to get the word out there, and I think we've created something that really helps a lot of businesses. So we really want to get the word out. So I think getting that word out and scaling up will be one of the challenges that we're going to face as time goes on.
Tell me about the infrastructure that you're built on.
So we've used Ruby on Rails to develop our software. We have a really strong development team. We've got, I think, 3 of our...
They're sitting back here, right?
Some of them are there. Yep, some of them are here. So we've actually got 12 people in our team. So part of the team is here. But I think 3 of our developers are ranked in the top 30 Ruby on Rails developers in the world. So we've got really strong developers. And then we're using Amazon Web Services as our hosting service.
Yep.
Sorry.
We'll fix that.
Cut.
No.
But we're about to swap because we're really not happy.
All right, say that again.
We should talk about that afterwards.
No, actually, this is a good point. We interview people who are on Amazon, Rackspace. We don't care. We're about understanding how the
But we don't
bleeding.
need to say that.
No, we do. We are about understanding the bleeding edge of the internet where it's
Sure.
going. So.
Well, and I mean, we're on Amazon Web Services because we went on Amazon Web Services. It's not
Yeah.
because we made a choice, I think, between Rackspace, and so you can tell us about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a good reason why we should be changing.
Absolutely. You should check out our chart. Comparison. Go to Google. Comparison.
would be
Amazon versus
Alan's
Rackspace.
Did you look? Have you looked into it?
No, we haven't, but I'd love to know more about sort of the differences.
Yeah.
Because
what
we.
the advantages are to go into
So one thing I would say with Amazon Web Services, we found, I mean, sometimes the service has been a bit spotty, right? And it's really hard to get support when something, right?
And
we're
that's-
on the basic plan. We operate it now we have better support.
Mm-hmm. We've
Well, that's one thing that we differentiate on is,
Yeah.
you know, our CEO, his phone is on the web, his personal phone number, and everybody
Yeah.
in the management chain. You know, there's 200 people on Twitter that I've found so far that are Rackspace employees, right? You
No,
know,
that's
so we're
good.
very open, very available, and we're always there. And,
Yeah.
And there's a chat. You know, if you go to Rackspace.com, there's always somebody to chat with 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So your infrastructure is completely cloud-based. You're on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And what does that let you do as a startup? Because that's what I like to talk about. You know,
Right.
why don't you need servers anymore? We have a campaign. We have a website even called NoMoreServers.com.
Right.
You know? And
So, I mean, as a startup, when you've got limited resources, it's incredible because you're starting off with a low amount of traffic, and then as you scale up, you can really scale up with the cloud. I think with our business in particular, it's really beneficial because we do have really spiky traffic. If we launch a campaign, and we just launched a campaign recently for Victoria's Secret, it was a fantastic campaign, you suddenly see a big spike in traffic. Or we launch a campaign we've done a lot of campaigns with celebrities. We've done campaigns for Britney Spears and Kelly Clarkson. You see a huge spike in traffic. So it's really great for us to be able to handle the changes in traffic that we see. So yeah, it's been good for us so far. As we grow, we might need to look into other options as well.
yeah. So what's next?
Well, we're working on a number of different, so we really want to be a comprehensive solution for companies to tap into all the best kind of marketing campaign formats that are going to work for their website and for the social network. So we're working on some really exciting new formats, which we're rolling out literally in the coming weeks and months. We're working on new channels, so Twitter is new for us. We're building
What do you think
out.
you're going to do with Twitter?
So with Twitter,
Because it's different than
Yeah, it is- it
Facebook
is different.
very personal, very
Yeah.
interactive with a small group, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think some of the campaign formats that we're using for Facebook really work for Facebook and for a website, which we integrate with Facebook Connect. It's not going to make so much sense with Twitter. But there's some very, very interesting campaigns that have been run in Twitter around the idea of sweepstakes or contests where you perhaps have to be really creative around these 40 characters, some kind of, whether it's a haiku or some kind of messaging. So I think we can do some very interesting things around contests that take advantage of that brevity within Twitter, and that people can then spread to their followers and their network.
Do you think companies will do location-based games? Because Six Flags did a really interesting game on Twitter where if you're at the park, they said, well, at 2 o'clock, we're going to announce on Twitter we left some tickets somewhere.
Yeah.
And I did that. It was really cool, you know, and you just watch your Twitter as you're walking around the park. Oh, they're over here, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And you go and grab them.
I mean, I think absolutely there's a lot of opportunity for that. And we actually, so within our platform already, we enable companies to target certain geographies. So we have a company that's coming in and they're just California based. They can actually target their campaign to that geography.
Yeah.
And I think absolutely, in particular with the iPhone now, you can really do some really fun things around where people are now. And I think there's some of our formats that lend themselves very well to that we're exploring right now.
Do you think you're going to do campaigns just for iPhone or build into apps, various apps that are out there?
I think there's certain functionality we can take advantage of with the iPhone around this location. Yeah, it's certainly in our thought processes.
Cool.
Let me leave it at that.
So where do we learn more about you guys?
So we have a website. It's Wildfire app, wildfireapp.com.
Very cool.
We've got lots of case studies, lots of campaigns, all sorts of information there, and you can create an account there for free. Literally take you 20 seconds, and then you can get started on a campaign. You can create any kind of campaigns you want without paying for them. You only pay when it's time to publish.
Very cool. And are you on Twitter?
We are on Twitter. Yeah.
No, you.
Me personally,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm at Victoria Ransom, and you can find some of our team members. Alan Schuard is on there.
Okay.
And we've also got our own company, Wildfire app.
Very cool.
On
Thank
Twitter.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Really
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Thank you.